I'm determined to create my dream life by the end of this year. Ambitious, I know. But listen, 2025 still has 8 months left in this year, and a lot can happen in 8 months. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm happy to have you here. First of all, how about a little commotion for the hair, okay? Thanks, moving on. This year is about going after the things that I want and believing that I can have it. So I'm implementing steps now so that I can see results later. This is a year where I get out of my own way. 2024 was a good year and a lot of great things came out of that year. But at the end of it, I still felt like the things that I wanted to accomplish, I didn't accomplish. And a lot of that simply was because I didn't feel worthy enough to receive those things. And two, I didn't go after them. I sat around and just waited on things to come my way. And it didn't. That thinking and that way of living is going out the door for me in 2025. 2025 is going to be a transformational year for me, and I am claiming that by faith. Not only because I'm going to change my mindset, but it's because I'm actually going to not just talk about it, but I'm going to be about it as well. If you want something different, then you got to do something different, okay? I have been that person that anytime I thought about a dream, I think they're so far out of reach that I don't even bother. I count myself out of it. I speak against it. I say everything in the book, every excuse as to why it could not be me. But I rebuke that this year. I'm not doing that anymore. I deserve these things. The dreams that I have them for a reason. I need to have more discipline in order to know that I can put the action in to get these things accomplished. Honestly, I already am so proud of the work that I've done thus far, because even though I'm not where I want to be, I'm much further now than I was in 2024. I started this channel. It took a while to get here, but I got here. And in the same way, I can do these other things that I think are so hard and out of reach. And of course, I want my dreams to evolve and be achieved in the years to come. At the same time, 2025 is a stepping stone. 2025 is gonna set me up for the rest of my life. And I believe that in 2025, I'm gonna do things differently because I want different outcomes. I don't want another year to go by where I'm counting myself out and disqualifying myself. There is no more playing it small. I am all in on being the best version of myself that I can be. And in order to do that, I know that there are small changes and bigger changes that I need to implement in order to get there. 2025 is going to be just the beginning of figuring out what I'm capable of and bridging the gap between who I am now and my future successful self. I'm gonna have to live outside of my comfort zone a lot. If I want to get the things that I want, then I'm gonna have to make different changes. I'm gonna have to have a different mindset. I'm gonna have to do things differently. In this video, I wanna talk about some of the different categories that I've broken this all down into in order to organize what do I wanna accomplish in 2025? How do I wanna set this thing up so that I can create my dream life? The mindset that I have now, where normally I have a dream and then I shoot it down quickly, that's gotta go. I know that opportunities will find me and I won't shy away from those opportunities because I've done the foundational work. So that's what a lot of this is gonna be for me, is giving myself grace. The changes that I intend to make, they might seem small, but ultimately they'll have monumental impact on the things that I'm trying to do later. I think they say it takes like 21 days to create a habit, but that's probably not one size fits all. There's probably some things that I'm gonna want to do that take longer than 21 days. I might start something and then I might fall off. And that's okay. Like, this is not going to be a picture perfect journey of, ooh, overnight I got my dream life. Everything changed. I made all of these changes and I stuck with it and I did great. No, I don't expect that. But what I do expect is for me to see myself as worthy enough to achieve the things that I want. And because I'll see myself as worthy of achieving them, I'll have enough self-love to go out there and get it. Not just talking it, but actually walking it as well. So I have 4 main categories that I want to focus on. And who knows, these might evolve, things might change out of them over time, and that's what I'll use this platform to be able to document, as I go on about the year and see what's working, what's not working, what needs to be adjusted, etc. The 4 main categories that I'm going to focus on are spiritual, mental, physical, and personal. And the personal ties specifically into lifestyle. It's almost like my miscellaneous category where there's a few different things in there, but we'll get to that. Okay, so first I want to start with spiritual. And I want to start with this one because I think a lot of the other categories will be impacted by how well I can do with this one. If you've been watching my videos so far, then you know that my faith is something that's very important to me. Long story short, God is the reason I started this channel in the first place. This is me simply answering the call and doing something that I felt drawn to do. So nurturing that relationship between me and God is very important to me. With that said, I want to do better on my end of things with that relationship. I want to make sure that I am prioritizing my quiet time with God. I want to make sure that I have those moments where I can just quiet everything around me, turn off all the distractions, and simply focus on listening and receiving whatever I need to receive from God. That looks like me reading my Bible more, praying, making time for Him, not God being an afterthought and like, oh, okay, yeah, the day is almost over. Let me go ahead and pray real fast. No. Some of those actionable steps to make sure that that happens is waking up earlier and starting my day with Him. I'm a night owl, and usually I'm up late doing work or watching TV or whatever it is that I'm doing at night. That's like my me time. I enjoy being up late. But in the morning, when it's time for me to get up, I usually just wait until the last possible minute that I can get out that bed. And then I'm rushing, and then I got to get to work. And that's not a priority anymore at that point. And so maybe I'll get in the car and I'll say a prayer. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, whatever time that you have, whatever works for your lifestyle works for you. But that is something that I do want to be more mindful of. And I want to start my day. I want that to be the first thing that I'm doing. When I get up in the morning, I don't want to first reach for my phone. I don't want to have to immediately get up to turn the alarm off and just immediately start getting ready. I want to be able to slowly get up and start my day with God. It's not about, oh, I need to pray this many times a day or read the Bible in a year. Like, that's not what it's about. It is about fostering a relationship with God, not just doing things to check off a box. Another thing that I'm hoping will be a daily practice for me as I go is I want to practice gratitude a lot more than I do now. There is so much to be grateful for, and I think it's so easy with all of the foolishness that happens in life to lose sight of all of the good that's happening. You know, we see the bad and it's always on display, but there's a lot of good things that happen as well. And in my life, sometimes it's hard for me to recognize it because I'm not looking for it. There's so much more good in my life than I realize because I don't take the time to just stop and reflect. That's what I want to work towards, is that every night I'm practicing gratitude. I'm writing down maybe at least 3 things that I'm grateful for. That way I have a posture of just thanking God for the things that happened or didn't happen in my day. Next, I want to talk about the mental category. In one of my videos, I mentioned that this whole thing of me starting this channel is probably more of a mental mind game for me than anything else. It's less about the actual turning on the camera and recording and editing and all of that than it is about the mind game that happens when I'm trying to do all of those things. I am constantly fighting the overthinking, the feeling inadequate, all of these mental games that are going through my head on a daily, all of the time, holds me back more than I even realize. And no more, okay? Since starting this channel, I've been cheering myself on and I've been proud of myself, but at the same time, I've been my biggest critic and low-key my biggest hater, okay? Like, continuously saying, oh girl, that is a horrible video. Oh, nothing's going well. This isn't good. This isn't good. All of these things, and I keep saying it. And I think a lot of it has to do with my mindset. I have to reframe my mindset. I am getting out of my own way. There is no more playing it small. I've talked about going from a mindset of perfection to progress, but also I want to dive a little bit deeper into the difference in a scarcity mindset and an abundance mindset. Because oftentimes I do feel like I'm operating under a scarcity mindset. Also, something big for me is identifying and overcoming my limiting beliefs. A lot of the reason that I feel like I struggle is because I have limiting beliefs that I'm not confronting. I have all of these thoughts in my head that keep coming up, and instead of speaking against them, instead of stopping right there in my tracks and saying, okay, wait, let me catch that thought and let me speak against it, instead I just let it grow, and it holds me back so much. I want to be very intentional about identifying those limiting beliefs and then coming up with something that speaks against those things that I can tell myself daily as a reminder that it's going to be okay and that I can do the things that I think that I can't do. And I have more in me than I realize. I want to start changing the way that I think, start changing the way that I respond to the way that I think as well. For me, honestly, these limiting beliefs, it's a daily battle. Like not a day goes by where I don't have some sort of thought that restricts me from doing the things that I want to do. And so I am going to, I don't want, okay? I'm going to change the way that I speak to myself. And when I have these limiting beliefs, I'm gonna stop right there and I'm gonna use either affirmations or the word of God and find specific scriptures that speak against those limiting beliefs. We're going from limiting beliefs to empowering beliefs. The Bible says be strong and courageous. So that's what I'm doing in 2025, okay? Moving on to number 3, which is physical. So this is gonna encompass all things health, okay? Taking care of myself, taking care of my body. One of the things I feel like I struggle with so often is my energy. That's not always just a mental thing. Sometimes it's legit physical. I might not have energy because I'm not taking care of my body the way that I need to. I'm not giving it the right foods that it needs. I'm not exercising. I'm not getting enough sleep. All of these things factor in to me feeling like I don't even have the energy to do the things that I want to do. So what does that look like? For me, it looks like taking vitamins on a consistent routine and schedule, drinking more water. I am really bad with that. I don't know why I've been that way for so long. It's just not something that I enjoy. I don't know. It's a little boring. And I know that's horrible because it's water. We need it to live. But it's just... the dehydration is real. So I wanna see my skin glow. I wanna see my hair thrive. All of these different things, and I know water is a big part of that. I'm intending to drink 2 liters a day. I know for some people that don't sound like nothing, but for me that's a lot. So we're gonna get there. And then also working out more, okay? I used to be really great with going to the gym, and then I wasn't. And I'm still not. So I'm getting back into the swing of things. I just have not fully committed to going to the gym on a consistent basis. It's very easy for me to talk myself out of going. It's very easy for me to say, oh no, I don't feel like it today. Not feeling it, I'm too tired. But that's gotta go out the window too. Baby steps, we're gonna start small, at least 3 times working out a week, or even if on the days where I can't go to the gym, at least try to get 10,000 steps a day, whether it's a walk outside or inside. I have a walking pad, I need to use it. Whatever it is, like just something that gets me moving. Also, eating better. Okay, now that one is probably gonna take some time to really get there because I'm gonna have to just study what nutrients are best for me. But even just the simple starting with eating breakfast. I'm not a big breakfast person. I usually also don't really make the time for that. Like I said, I'm one of those that I wake up and gotta go, okay? I wake up, hurry up and get dressed and get out the door. But I know that they say breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I've never really implemented that, but it's time to be serious about it, so. Also getting more sleep. The current goal, the baby step goal, is getting sleep from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Currently, I wake up around like 7 and then I just gotta hurry up and get out the house. That doesn't leave me any time to do the things that I wanna do. It doesn't leave me time to have breakfast. It doesn't leave me time to have the quiet time with God. All that gives me time for is rushing. So I'm gonna start with trying to wake up an hour earlier and then going to bed a little bit earlier as well so that I can get my full 8 hours. At the beginning, it might be more like 6 to 7 hours, but ultimately the goal is going to be to get at least 8 hours of sleep. And later on, as I get better with 10 to 6, I can move that to 9 to 5. I'd love to be one of those girls that wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's just not who I am right now, but we can get there, and we will get there. It's difficult because at night, I feel like that's when I'm my most productive. Usually that looks like me being up at 12:30 in the morning, getting work done. That's when I can check my emails. That's when I feel like doing those things. Or if I want to clean, usually that happens at 12 something in the morning. But that's not good for me when I need to wake up early. Of course, I want to do what works for me and what works for my schedule. But right now, it looks like me staying up late to be productive and then waking up early-ish, and then immediately just having to go, and it's rushing, and I just don't want that lifestyle anymore. And last but not least is personal or lifestyle. This category has a few subcategories underneath it. So one being fashion and beauty, one being travel, and one being creativity. Starting with fashion and beauty, these are two of the things that I said from the beginning that I wanted to focus on this channel. And more so, I think that's because I want to see how that evolves for me in my style, in my abilities to do makeup. So far, I feel like with my makeup, I kind of do good enough. Like, I do what works for me. I'm by no means an expert at it. There's so many different things to learn about makeup, where to put the makeup, how to blend it out properly. All of these tutorials that I see, I want to be able to glean a little bit more from those. Also, I want to better understand my style. I don't feel like I need to restrict myself to looking one kind of way, wearing the same clothes all of the time. I want to be able to play around with different styles. I want to try different things and just see what works for me, see what I like, not be afraid to try different things that I normally wouldn't. If I want to go out and glam, I want to do that. A lot of that for me is going to start simply by minimizing the clutter that I have right now. I got a whole bunch of stuff in that closet, but I feel like I have nothing at all. I have nothing to wear when I'm looking for an outfit because I'm overwhelmed. There's just too much happening in that closet. There's clothes that I don't want to let go, even though I don't wear them. So they're just taking up space in my closet and they gotta go. I think once I kind of clean out my closet a little bit and get rid of things that I don't wear, I'll be able to really analyze and see what do I have, what do I feel like is missing, and figure out what looks best on me and what I actually feel confident in. Get inspiration from things like Pinterest and then see how can I tailor that into something that's my own. And I want to be able to document this over time. I'll do different outfit of the days or get ready with me so that way I can over time see the growth and see how my style evolves. Now with travel, I wouldn't say I do a lot of traveling. It's always been something that I've put on the back burner because I just didn't, I had those limiting beliefs telling me that I couldn't do it. I don't have the time or the money to go to this place or that place. But there is so much to this earth that I have not seen and I want to explore more. It doesn't have to be huge, big, extravagant trips, but I definitely want to just get out there and see more of this world. Lastly, under the personal category is the creativity. So a few things fall into this subcategory: my hobbies and also YouTube. It's not the easiest with editing, but that's something that I want to also improve on. I want to get better at it and learn more tips and tricks about it, so that way it's not as daunting of a task, because right now it's just not something that is that enjoyable for me because I don't really know what I'm doing with it. I'm not that great at it. I get my ideas down, I film the video, but then it just sits there until I finally get the willpower to put it into the editing software and work on it. But if I put more time into learning how to do it, I think it's a great skill to have, especially nowadays. And also when it comes to my hobbies, I'm starting to learn sewing and crocheting. So I don't want to let that go. I don't want to lose the momentum on that. Just little projects here and there, whether it's sewing or crocheting or filming videos and creating content to put on YouTube. I just simply want to create more than I consume. I have found lately that I do a lot of scrolling on TikTok and a good amount of scrolling on Instagram. Either way, social media just sees a little bit too much of me. Of course, I can use those social media apps to be inspired and use them to search things that I might be trying to learn or figure out. But in that time that I'm doom scrolling and watching a bunch of unnecessary foolishness, all of that time I could have been using to create something, to post something of my own. Overall, I just want to take more risk. I am not letting fear take away my joy anymore. This year is personal. This year is about doing the things that younger me would have been too afraid to do. Younger me would have thought that I couldn't do those things. Younger me would have thought I wasn't worthy of having my dreams. A dream life, like what is that? That's what I would have said back then. I owe it to my younger self to do things that I never imagined that I could do, because I can do them. It's not to say it's going to be a walk in the park, because challenges are going to come, struggles are going to come. That's going to happen. That's a part of life. But there's still so much more to life than living in fear and shrinking. I do recognize that I'm kind of asking a lot for myself, a lot of new changes, a lot of new things to implement. It might not be that easy, but I'm worth it, and I'm gonna show up for myself because I deserve that. I deserve to live a life that I enjoy. We all do. Sometimes that requires us to do difficult things. That requires us to push ourselves out of our comfort zone so that we can go after the things that we never imagined we could. There might be some days where I fall off. There might be some days that I don't do the things that I'm setting out to do. And that's okay. Like, I'm not gonna beat myself up for that. I can't just immediately turn my whole life around overnight. It's difficult. It's difficult to do. I mean, some people might be able to do that. All power to you. For me, I might miss a day of doing something that I told myself I was gonna do, and that's okay. There might be a day I don't drink 2 liters of water the whole day, and that's okay. I'll get back to it. That doesn't mean I throw in the towel and just quit. I want progress, not perfection. I want to make this into a series. So of course, this is going to be like that first video of the series of creating my dream life. And I'll use this platform to be able to share updates. When I learn things, I will be sure to bring them to the channel. Or even if it's just something for me to document, I will do that. It's gonna really be interesting to make this into a series, because usually for me, like, if I say that I'm gonna do something, but it's only impacting me, nobody else has to show up and do it with me, I can easily just say, oh, no, I don't feel like going to the gym today, so I'm not gonna go. But if I know that somebody is expecting me to be there, then I show up. And in the same way, if I come onto this internet and I say that I'm gonna do X, Y, and Z, it's done. I have to do it. I have a choice, of course, but at the same time, I don't have no choice. And yes, I might have to pivot some things. Some things might get tweaked, and that's fine. And I'll share those updates. But if I say that I'm gonna do something, then I should show up and give the best version of myself that I possibly can. Not just talk about it, but be about it as well. All right, y'all, so that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you are also trying to create your dream life in 2025, let me know some of the things that you're trying to do. Any of the things that you're trying to change, whatever it is, let me know. Let me know in the comments, and we are in this together. This year is about showing up in the best way that we can, making changes that are gonna set us up for success in the future. And we can do this, y'all. We can do this. All right, y'all. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.